Oh hey guys, I got a new racing wheel, the Thrustmaster TMX. So you know what that means. Yeah boy. Oh yeah. Before I begin this video, I'd like to mention a disclaimer. This is the demo, so if the full game is different, don't judge what I say in this video. I'm basing this solely on what I've experienced from the demo only. Now that that's out of the way, let's begin the review. Howdy everyone, PrairieRanger here, and today we are going to be talking about the Rfactor 2 demo, as I have downloaded it and decided it would be fun to make a first impressions review style video before I go out and buy the game. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. On a side note, before we begin, I'd like to also mention that this year may bring some interesting changes on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Breaking the boundary between reality and a game is one of the most difficult and sought after goals of any hardcore simulation game. I have to say, based on what I've played, I would say that Rfactor 2 does this quite well. Not that I've actually raced a car in real life, though. The force feedback. Is one of the most satisfying force feedback systems, in my mind, I've ever used in my entire life. While I may have not had it set up perfectly at first, it was still incredibly satisfying. You could feel every bump and groove in the road, and you could feel when the car was starting to lose control. What I found most interesting, however, was that you could feel when you bumped the side curves, just like in real life. Not that I go hitting every curve I see in real life. Handling, or physics rather, is one of this game's strong points. It is widely regarded as the most realistic sim racer, and from what I've experienced, I have to agree. One aspect of this game's handling that I particularly liked was the ability to save a spin. With the help of the force feedback, you could feel when the car was starting to lose control, but you could actually get the car back under control under certain circumstances due to the gradual and realistic oversteer model, thanks to the rather mind-boggling tire model. Unlike a certain other sim racer I actually bought. Cough, cough. So Corsa. Cough, cough. Additionally, I liked when you hit into somebody, or if they hit into you, you didn't get punted off the track while spinning like a top. The cars have a good weight to them, and in this area, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Going into depth on the tire model a bit, I began to realize how good it is at simulating the physics and grip of each car. It also has some interesting features such as wear, being affected by weather, and most interestingly, flat spots, which, after disabling ABS and testing out, I'd have to say is quite cool. Now I'm pretty sure I've only scratched the surface of the tire model and the physics, but from what I've tried so far, it's pretty good. 5 out of 5. Now let's take a quick look at these wear effects on the tires for a minute. As you can see here, after spinning around and locking up my brakes for a while, you will notice that my tires have some wear and tear on them. Burn marks and or flat spots, I believe. And I've noticed that the more wear you get on the tires, the more you can feel that the tires are no longer even as the wheel starts to shake a lot. Like, I mean a lot. I know they also said that there is tire deformation in this game, such as when you jump over a curb, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it, so I can't really comment on that much. Now I'm just going to sidetrack for a moment, but I found the Assetto Corsa's oversteer to be rather snappy and uncontrollable. Like, I personally don't find it to be that realistic if your car just skids out every single time you turn a corner. Now I know what some of you are going to say already. Well, PrairieRanger, maybe you just don't know how to drive. And you would be right. I absolutely don't know how to drive that well in sim racing, as I haven't been doing it that long. But in my defense, I took two similar cars on the same track with the same assists in both Assetto Corsa and Rfactor 2, and I found that it was much easier to control my game on Rfactor 2 regardless, despite being the more realistic of the two. I think there's a certain stigma going around the sim racing community which corresponds difficulty to how realistic a game is. But I don't agree with that, personally. This game seems to have a learning curve to it, but even I, the somewhat novice sim racer, was able to put down some pretty solid laps, especially in cars like the Radical as seen here. The AI in this game are pretty good. While I do believe there were some instances where I kind of cut the AI off, they didn't go ramming into me, and they raced pretty cleanly. I've played some other sim racing games where the AI just go ramming into you, which can be rather frustrating, especially on the second to last lap. But in this game, I've only experienced an AI hitting me once, although I didn't get on camera. In the demo, I had the AI set on default. I think it was 90% difficulty or something like that. I had some pretty good races against them. Graphically, this game is not the best, but it does have its own unique charm. While I know there are some graphics mods for this game, this is a demo, so we will not be talking about those today. The headlights at night, though, from my experience, are probably the most realistic thing about this game graphically, having rather good spread and coverage. Rain looks pretty decent. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. In the daytime, at least. Rain at night is a little I'll let you decide for yourselves, as seen here. Evening, though, is when this game is the prettiest. In conclusion, I'm gay for racing. Wait, what? In conclusion, if you are interested in a more realistic sim racing experience, Rfactor is absolutely worth a look. While the graphics aren't exactly stunning per se when compared to games such as Assetto Corsa or Forza, the proof is in the pudding. The physics pudding? Anyway, I do suggest using a controller, or better yet, a wheel, like the TMX from Thrustmaster or the G29 from Logitech, if you wish to have a better experience and give this game a go, in order to fully appreciate the true glory of this game. Albeit, if you prefer more arcadey-ish games such as Forza Horizon, The Crew, or Eminem's Kart Racing, then maybe this game just ain't for you. Speaking for yourself, though, I surely am going to pick this game up. But only when it goes on sale. Because I'm cheap. Anyways, guys, if you liked this video, consider grilling that like button. Subscribe if you wish. And let me know what you thought of my review. Or if I missed anything. And I will see y'all next time.